Yeah, we're talking about crediting VTubers, how that changed, whole life, blew it all up. I guess, so you started doing, and you said you were trying to make it serious. When did you feel like it was like actually becoming a bit more serious? Like, what was there a moment where you were like, oh, I feel like this is like actually a full, like a job I can pursue?
Like when I got my first model, like for real. I feel like that's when everything really started. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I had my first stream, and I'm like, oh my god, this is me. It was weird because like when you become a VTuber, there's that moment when you look at yourself in your model and you see yourself, and you're like, holy shit, this is me.
Yeah, that's what I feel right now.
And like you have like a connection.
It's me for real.
Oh please.
That's me right here.
Yeah, Connor's never had a VTuber avatar.
No, he's never had a VTuber avatar. Never.
No, I don't have it.
First time.
Never in his life.
No, this feels right. I like the full body emotion.
I was there for his VTuber debut.
Oh yeah, I did a VTuber debut.
Yeah, how did you forget?
You did, and I was there.
Well, no, because that was like very different because I'd hired 3 different people on Fiverr to do it. And it was,
I remember this video.
Yeah, and it was not very good. It's not the best.
Oh no, the final one was good.
Yeah, it was good. I guess just the rigging was not like good.
Yeah, but how many years ago was that?
Yeah, true.
I mean, for the time, it was good.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah.
And also at that time, I didn't know like how much this stuff should cost. So I think I ended up spending like $1,500 on that, which now I think is quite low for a good model. Yeah. But I guess back then that was kind of like, I don't know, that felt like a lot back then. I don't know what the standard was.
I mean, $1,500 is still a lot of money.
You don't want to know how much I spend.
Well, I know you spend like the GDP of like Liechtenstein on your models, but like, how much did you spend on that first model? Do you remember like roughly or like the range?
My first model cost me $1,500, I think.
Oh my god!
So the same as you.
Yeah.
Same as yours.
Same as you, Connor.
By the way, I got that model. I saved up for a year for that model.
Oh
damn! And there you go. Look at you now.
It took me a year to get that money.
That was an investment.
I was like, I could finally pay to get it. Yeah,
I
was just like, I can't believe I'm spending this on that. Like, I was like, I can't tell my mom this. She's gonna kill me. Because at the time, you know.
So you spent $1,500 on what?
I'm a sick girl, you know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I'm like struggling like with my meds and stuff, and here I am spending money on a fucking VTuber model, and if my mom were to find out, she'd kill me. And I'm like, oh god. So I was just like, I really hope that like this works out.
Yeah, but your mom eventually found out, right? What did she say?
Oh yeah, when did your mom find out?
When did my mom find out? My mom officially found out I was a VTuber when I got my first like Twitch check. And when I got it, I'll never forget because it was the most money I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen that much money in my entire life. And I went to my mom and I was like, I'm paying all the bills.
Hell yes!
So I was just like, yeah.
She probably
I
thought
was
you
like,
were
Mom,
like running
don't worry,
some
I
kind
got
of
you. I got all the
scam.
bills. And then she was like, where did you get this money? And I'm like, I got it on the internet. She was like, what are you doing on the internet?
You couldn't have said it in any more of a sus way.
Yes.
I got this money from the internet.
Yes, strangers just kept sending me money.
Are you doing?
Know?
Well, she thought I was doing like something that she didn't expect me to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jerry got it.
In her mind, she was like, you can't do that. You're sick.
Oh no!
God damn!
Oh damn!
And then I was like, Mom, don't worry, I'm not doing that. I'm VTubing. And she was like, ¿Qué es eso? What is VTubing? ¿Qué es eso? And I'm like, oh well, I had to try to explain it to her, but she didn't understand what it was. And then the second thing she asked me was, is this legal? Are we gonna get in trouble?
Yeah, I guess it is just a completely different world if you think about it. Because like, yeah, God, have you ever tried to explain to your parents what VTubing is?
I mean, I had to eventually. I don't know when I had that conversation with them, but they were like, "What is this Iron Mouse thing?"
Yeah. What is this Iron?
What is this Iron Mouse thing?
Is this like an AI or something? What is this?
That's they always say that.
The first time I showed my Kizna eye collab to my mom, she was like, "So is she like AI or like what is she?" And I'm like, "She's just a Japanese woman in a mocap suit." She's like, "What? How does that work?"
Well, yeah, because I think for a lot of like people like my parents' age, our parents' age, I think it was like kind of strange to explain YouTube to begin with.
Oh yeah.
And so they were like, well, I guess it makes. Yeah, like it took them a couple of years to get their head around it, but yeah, they were like, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then this is like a whole new thing where they're like, okay, I don't understand any of this. Like the tech is confusing. Like I don't. So I think that's like what was probably had to be explained.
True.
Which I'm sure maybe you heard like tenfold of like, here's what it is. Here's what people are watching. Here's why I'm getting paid for it. Like, that's like a lot of steps to go through.
I basically told my mom, like, my mom understands is like I'm a doll on the internet and I do a little show, and that's what she thinks in her mind.
Okay.
But
it's a good
in her
idea.
mind, she thinks that like everybody who is online, who's an online content creator. I told you this before, Connor, where she's like, when I tell her, I told my mom about Connor and I told my mom about my other VTuber friends, she's like, oh, what's wrong with them? And I'm like, what do you mean what's wrong with them?
Where do we begin?
What disease do they have? Because there's no reason why somebody would be home making money on the computer if they weren't sick with a debilitating disease.
He's got that, Connor officially has that goopy goblin gamer brain.
Yeah, there's a lot wrong with me. I don't know where to begin.
So I had to explain to her mom, these people are normal. Sure, there's people that are sick.
Normal? I don't know about that.
Most of the people that I interact with, yeah, okay, you know what I mean, okay?
Yeah, no,
they're normies.
I know.
Yes.
And I'm like, most of the people that I interact with are healthy people. They're fine. And she's like, that is very interesting.
Why would healthy people need to do this? My parents thought my dad.
Well, she just didn't. She didn't think that it could be like a career path that people could choose. And now, she's changed her mind. But
I think as like
she still doesn't get it though.
There's like way more TV and overproduced stuff. People are looking for more like more personalized, more kind of authentic kind of content. I think that's why streamers have done so well.
Yeah, for sure.
My dad also thought I was scamming people when I started.
What?
He just assumed I was scamming people.
Right. He's not wrong.
Okay.
Well, considering your past, Connor, that actually does.
You were doing prank calls, so that kind of makes sense.
He assumed that because I was making money online, I was up to no good. He was he thought I was like scamming. Maybe I would have been doing crypto rug pulls 10 years ago if that's where I got my introduction to the internet. But no, he was like, you must be scamming people. I'm like, no.
I mean, when did your parents find out you were doing YouTube? Like how far into your career?
Like really quick.
Really?
Like fourth video. I was I'm doing this.
Oh, wow.
Because I made like $5. And I was like, dude, check this shit out. I made $5. And they're like, what? From like videos?
I'm gonna go to the store and buy a Sprite.
Because I remember, maybe you guys remember this too, maybe you do as well, Mouse, but like the first time you like enable like payment or like earning money on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, the first day you check, like nothing happens, right? You're like, but it's been there for one day, come on. It takes like 2 or 3 days to catch up normally.
Yeah.
And then like when it finally showed like $2.5, I was like, yo, what the heck? And then I like got the phone, I was showing him, I was like, look at this. I was like, look.
Oh yeah, I didn't show my mom until I had that money in my bank.
Oh, it wasn't in my bank. They were like, when do you get it? I was like,
I didn't show it to her because there's like a threshold where before they pay you, and I didn't want to show her, hey, look, and then she'd be like, where are these imaginary dollars at? Huh? You know what I mean?
What are these Monopoly money? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I probably should have done that in hindsight, but I don't know. I was just happy to share.
Fair.
I don't know.
That's so sweet.
What about you, Gon?
I don't even remember. I know it must have happened, but it was so late after I started doing YouTube. It was like 5 years after I started doing YouTube before my parents found out.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh wow.
And I'm trying to remember because I have this vague recollection of just telling them, and my mom's just like, that's cool. Yeah, you have a hobby. And I was like, I make money from it as well. And she's like, that's really okay. Well, you should have started off with that actually.
Southeast Asian family.
Just Asian families.
Just Asian families in general.
No, well, my mom too. She was like very skeptical and stuff. But then the second she saw that I could pay bills and stuff, she was like, that's great with your little show. That's amazing.
with the little doll show.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
So you saved up $1,500 for the first model, and like, did you feel like guilty when you were saving up the whole time? You're like, I shouldn't be doing this. Like, I shouldn't be like saving this money for this. Or were you like, I gotta do this. Like, I need this more than the meds. Like for me.
I felt bad. I did. I was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Am I an idiot? Like, why? Who gives a shit? You know? I was just like, this could all be over. Like, I could just like not stream ever again. And at the time, I was like going through something, and I think when I was getting that model, like I even had like surgery around that time. I don't remember if it landed around like when I got the model or before, but I just remember like thinking, man, am I dumb? Like, what am I thinking? But I'm glad that I did.
Good. I mean, best investment of your life.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's just been a crazy ride since then. I just never expected any of this stuff to ever take off. And it's crazy. My first model, I got it at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. So,
5 years ago.
I think the first day I got it, it was like, it was like December 2019, I think.
Oh, that was just before we moved.
Because before that, I was just using like free models.
That makes sense. Is it still pretty common to start with a free model and like then get your own VTuber avatar, or is that?
I feel like there's a lot of pressure. I feel like there's a lot of pressure for people now to have a model. I've seen people like say debut coming 2026, and it's just like, girl, just start streaming. What are you doing?
Like, so
like,
far away. Yeah.
People waiting for their models, like they think they have to like spend a lot for a model, and I get it. You know, a lot of people think that the look is important, and in a sense, yes, that is part of it. But it's like, if you suck, if you're not entertaining, you know, you can have a beautiful model, but if you don't like streaming and you're not having fun and you're not, you know, engaging with people, like it's gonna be difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So it's like,
I mean, I think it's exactly the same. I think it's exactly the same with like, you know, when YouTubers start doing, you know, a YouTube channel, like, oh, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I have to buy, you know, the most expensive camera and the most expensive microphone. It's like, just start.
Yeah, I think I've said this so many times, but like,
it's an investment. Like, first and think if you like it. Stop and think if you like it. Try it out. Like, use a free model, and then if you really like it, then start investing in it. You know, because there are people that I've met that like they paid for the model and then they realize, oh man, I hate streaming. Never mind.
Yeah.
Spent $5,000 on this.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I'm fucked.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, I like, you know, big streamers like, you know, like Tyler One and stuff. He's like the worst setup known to man, and you know, he's successful, right? You don't need good setups, and I think people get lost in that a lot when it comes to streaming or YouTube, when ultimately it just comes down to being fun and engaging.
Yeah. I mean, how do you think the VTubing world has changed since you started? Because 8 years ago, I mean, in internet terms, it's a very long time.
Ancient.
Yeah.
Ancient, God.
It is ancient.
Ancient.
An entire generation.
Wow, thanks for reminding me I'm old.
You're old.
Damn, I'm old. Oh, God. It's changed quite a bit. I feel like there's just so much pressure now to do specific stuff, to be a specific way, to have like this incredible polished model, and to just be perfect. And there's just so much pressure on debuting and all this stuff. Like when I started VTubing, I didn't have a debut. I just started streaming, and now everything is like a debut. Everything has to be a big event and all this stuff. And it's like, I think that's great, but it's a lot of pressure for somebody who's starting, and it could be very stressful for somebody just like starting out. And
especially on the tech side of things as well.
Evolved.
Yeah, totally.
Oh God, yeah. There's just so many options now. Like I remember back then it was just face rig, and now we have VTube Studio. But VTube Studio is so robust with like features now, and people make stuff like mods to like put stuff in, and we have like so many options for like 3D. Like you don't have to have like an expensive mocap studio to do 3D VTubing, which is amazing, I think. And it's just, I feel like in some ways it's more affordable and more accessible than ever. But then there's also the expensiveness of it all too. So
I mean, I feel like it's a lot of things.
My models now are not cheap,
right?
Yeah, it's true.
But I do like being in the motion capture. It's fun, dude. I love walking around. It's kind of
Why don't you do a little job?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I've had enough of sitting down for a bit. I'm gonna stand up for a little bit. We've reached.
Oh God, they're jumping around.
We've reached the part of the episode where I'm gonna go on your
they
side.
Just want to play with their bodies. What the fuck? Excuse me?
Being in mocap is fun.
Guys, this is a podcast.
Yeah, we are podcasting, but we can move around.
Hello, Spotify listeners. You're not seeing any of this right now.
Yeah, Spotify listeners, you should probably hop onto the Trash Taste YouTube channel and check this out with visuals. Otherwise, you're just gonna hear a bunch of you're just gonna hear a bunch of grunting and like movements.
What's up? What's up?
By the way, guys, I haven't had a chance to congratulate on your cyclothon this year, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yay!
Yes.
Wrap it up.
What was your favorite part of the cyclothon this year, Mouse?
My favorite part?
Yeah.
All of it. The fact that I got to be on the bike.
Oh yeah. Did you see that? We had Mouse on the bike.
Oh, I missed that day.
We had a rig made where we put an iPad on the front.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
so we had
that's
an iPad,
awesome.
and the brand new iPad is like really good, I guess, for Discord calls or something. So I don't know what the tech is, Mouse. You know better than me, but yeah, we were just able to have Mouse on the bike.
Oh,
so we were talking while cycling, and Mouse was singing. It was great.
Oh, cool. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm tired now, by the
way. Old man.
All the cycling and now you're tired after a little bit of jumping?
Well, okay, jumping is strenuous exercise. Okay? I don't know if you've ever been to a trampoline park. It gets tiring fast.
That is true.
No, I haven't been to a trampoline park. Thank you for reminding me I can't go.
Okay, that's not my problem, just so you know.